Are you waiting to feel ready before you start living again? Like, once you've healed enough, once the grief isn't so heavy, once you finally feel like yourself, then you'll begin. Then life can start moving forward. But what if you're waiting for a feeling that never quite arrives? What if you're stuck in winter, wondering if spring will ever come? There's a Japanese phrase said at the beginning of every year, Tenka Baika Shu. It means, under heaven, plum blossoms are master. Even in the coldest time, something small brings light. It's said in January because that's when plum blossoms bloom in Japan. Not in April, when the weather is warm and gentle. In January, in the cold, in the snow. My grandmother told me a story about this phrase. In old Japan, when the head of the household went to war, the family was left at home, waiting, not knowing when he would return, not knowing if he would return. Can you imagine that kind of waiting? Every day wondering, every sound at the door hoping, life frozen in uncertainty. And yet, every January, the plum blossoms bloomed anyway, on schedule, indifferent to grief, unconcerned with waiting. The seasons didn't stop for their pain, and somehow, that made the sadness a little lighter. Not because the plum blossoms solved anything, not because they brought anyone home, but because they reminded those waiting families of something true. Life continues, even when you can't. Spring comes, even when you're not ready. Plum blossoms are remarkable flowers. They bloom in the coldest part of winter, while snow is still falling, before anything else dares to open. They don't wait for perfect conditions. They don't wait for warmth. They bloom anyway. And when they do, spring has already arrived. Not later, not someday. Right then, right there. I think we've learned to wait for spring to feel a certain way. We think, once the heaviness lifts, once the darkness passes, once we're done grieving, done healing, done struggling, then spring will come. Then we can start living again. But plum blossoms teach us something different. They teach us that spring doesn't wait for you to be ready. It comes anyway. In the cold, in the middle of your winter, while you're still grieving, while you're still waiting, while you're still not sure you'll ever feel whole again. You don't have to be done hurting for renewal to begin. Spring blooms in the snow. Both can be true at the same time. Maybe you're still waiting for someone who may never come home. Maybe you're still carrying grief that hasn't gotten lighter yet. Maybe you're still in the thick of something you can't see your way through. And also, there are small blooms, if you look. A moment this morning when the light looked different. A conversation that made you forget, just for a second, how heavy everything feels. The fact that you woke up today, that you're still here, that some part of you is still reaching towards something. Those are plum blossoms, blooming in your winter. Not asking permission. You don't have to call it spring yet. You don't have to pretend the cold is gone. But you can notice the blooms. You can see that something is already beginning, even while you're still in it. The old families waiting for loved ones to return from war, they didn't stop grieving when the plum blossoms bloomed. They were still waiting, still uncertain, still afraid. But for a moment, when they saw those delicate white flowers opening in the snow, their sadness got a little lighter. Not because anything changed, but because they remembered. Life continues. The world keeps turning. And somehow, that's okay. Tenka Baika Shu. Under heaven, plum blossoms are master. Spring doesn't wait for you to be ready. It comes anyway. Even for you. Especially for you. While you're still in winter. While you're still waiting. Small white blooms opening in the cold. Look. Can you see them? They're already here. Thank you for being here, for this moment, for noticing the blooms,